Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. I needed another keyboard. I have a lot of keyboards, but I just needed another keyboard. Right now I'm using this big Logitech G15 keyboard for my little Magic Jack machine that I built here, this little computer that takes care of some other things that runs 24/7, but it's not something that is my primary machine. Unfortunately, I had this really large keyboard attached to it with a cable that I had to deal with and keep on getting out of the way and reeling up the wire, and it's just always in the way. So I needed a compact keyboard that was wireless that I could just sort of put on top of the machine when I'm not using it. I can just pop it out and do what I need to do. So I needed something small, compact, but still comfortable to type on and wireless. So what I came up with, what I found after much research, was the Microsoft Arc keyboard. So we'll go ahead and unbox this, and I'll give you my first impression / review of this product in a moment. Now this keyboard is a very good keyboard. However, I'm not happy with the most recent drivers or most recent software that works with this keyboard lately. I have a 64-bit Windows 7 machine that this is attached to. When I downloaded the latest software, this button doesn't function as it's supposed to anymore, and I know it's not the hardware, it's not the keyboard itself, it's the software. And again, it's still pretty big. Now the early G15s were even bigger, but again, this hardware-wise, Logitech makes outstanding keyboards. I don't know who was out to lunch when they made the drivers, the latest drivers for that. So here's the Arc, and we'll go ahead and do an unboxing. Now the design team in the Arc is definitely taking some design cues from Apple. I'm very impressed by the packing. Look at this. Comes in a very nice, well, I'm not going to say a very nice case, but it's a pretty neat case. It's made out of some sort of fabric. Tell you what, before I open this up, let me set this aside and we'll see what else comes in this box. See, this is what I mean by it's very Apple-like. Apple does this kind of stuff. These kind of open up things. So, no disc, just some software, or just some documentation. I guess a quick start guide and a product guide. So you're basically going to have to go online to Microsoft's website to get the latest software, which I already downloaded on my machine. Another very nice thing to see is batteries packed with the product. Apparently, this keyboard uses 2 AAA batteries. Go ahead and slice these open. So we have them on the ready. And we'll set these aside right there. So let's take a look at what this keyboard looks like. How do I get it out of here? Alright. And there it is. Set this aside. Wow. It's a chiclet style keyboard. The keys feel really nice. Nice lace flat, tight. I like the feel of this keyboard. Let's see. This is a test. Nice. Now, if you notice, this is missing something. Like, let's take a look at this Logitech keyboard here, right above. You see these keys right here for up, down, side, side? You don't get those keys on here. Instead, you get this one key, and you toggle side, side, up, down, all on one key. So if you're a gamer, not really ideal, but this is a really cool keyboard if, let's say, you're using it for a media center or something like that, or you're sitting on the couch, you put this in your lap, something like that. Anyway, let's take a look at the back. what do we see here? This is the little dongle. It's held in magnetically. And you just stick that in your computer and forget it. So just set it in there and forget it, and it'll forever talk to this keyboard. Now, it would have been kind of nice to make this Bluetooth, but you know, it seems like they're starting to phase out Bluetooth. You just don't see it in as many laptops as you used to. I've even seen some higher-end laptops that are not including Bluetooth anymore. I'm going to set this aside. Go ahead and take a look in the battery compartment. Looks fairly simple. One battery goes in one direction, one goes in the other. Clearly labeled, or always put the spring on that end. And pop those in there and close it. I can't close it because there we go. Alright, so this keyboard is ready to go. I see a light there. Alright, so basically I've been using this keyboard just like I said. I got the little dongle that I got off the back of the new keyboard. I'm going to go ahead and just sort of stick it in a USB port on this little machine here. You know, one thing that drives me crazy is you never know which way to put the USB. You got to look in there and see where the little plastic piece is and then match it up. You know, there's a USB device out there that automatically that black piece will push out of the way on one side or the other, and it can go in either way. Someone invented that, and I wish they would start incorporating this on all the USB devices. So go ahead and pop it in. And have here installing the driver. So we'll just let it settle down. By the way, I already went to Microsoft. Just like I said, I went to Microsoft's website, looked up the keyboard, downloaded the drivers. Always do that first. Load the drivers before connecting a USB device as a rule of thumb, unless the instructions say otherwise. Still installing. If you don't believe me, you can take a look and see that it's still installing. Still installing. Where's my zoom? Alright, so you can see it's still, so we're waiting for that to go away. Wow, it is taking a rather long time, surprisingly. While we're waiting, we'll go ahead and zoom back out. While that's still waiting. Oh, and it says your device is ready to use. It did take a pretty long time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move this giant keyboard out of the way. And hopefully it'll be the last time I have to deal with that. And move in this little guy right here. And it should automatically work. Let me go ahead and scroll down here so you can see this on camera. And we'll see if it types. Wow, it really does work. Like it says. So this is a test of the emergency I spelled it wrong. Broadcast system. Really nice feedback. Good. It bottoms out nice and solid. This is the way I like a keyboard to be. It's very Apple-like as far as the feel of the keys. Really nice. Let's see if the okay, with the volume bar, if you install the software, you get a volume bar that shows up. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here so you can see that. I'm going to hit the volume. You can see it go up there, go down, mute. It mutes. So let's see, where's the num lock on this thing? You don't have a num lock because you don't have a num lock keypad on here. So you have nothing that indicates a num lock because you don't have one. There's really, you get the Windows key and the Windows menu pops up. So very impressed. I really like the way this feels. Now, I notice that there's a power button here, but you got to hit the function key. So I'm going to hit, right above the escape, there's the international sign for power. I wonder if that actually will turn it off. Let's see. can. I guess not. Might have to go in there and configure it or something. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to bring my mouse over here. Again, I bought a wireless mouse to go with this so I could set both of these aside on top of the machine itself, and then I could do what I need to do here without that big keyboard being in the way. So I found out a couple more things while playing with this, and I did sort of read the instructions a little bit. And that power button, or that little power symbol right up here, has nothing to do with turning the computer on and off. It's for the keyboard. So if you hit the function key and press and hold that escape key that has the power symbol over it, it will turn the keyboard off. I guess help you save power. And to turn it on, you do the same thing, press and hold it. So and then it has a little indicator light here. It'll flash green when it's. Well, let's go ahead. I'm going to press and hold this, and you hold it for a little bit, and it flashes green, and now it doesn't work. And you can turn it on. You hit the function key, press and hold the escape. You'll see the light turn green. It'll stay on for about a couple of seconds, but it's already on and working. So we're good to go there. And if it turns red, it means the batteries are low. So one all-purpose light does it all. Also, this little rocker, instead of having the up-down side keys, works very well. I'm very surprised. It's working better than I thought. Easily goes up and down. No problem. It's actually faster than a separate key. I can really, you can press and hold it and it'll just go right there. So not a problem. It works very well. Now, if I had any kind of criticism for this, it would be that this is a fingerprint magnet. You have this shiny surface, and you can see right there, there's quickly a lot of fingerprints there. So it is a fingerprint magnet. If you don't like things looking like they are smeared with all kinds of stuff right away, you're going to get aggravated by that really quick. So there's a criticism. So overall, I'd rate this very high. If I were rating it between 0 and 5, I'd give it a 4.5. I'm very happy with it. The only thing is I don't like the fingerprint stuff, so I'm constantly going to be wiping that off because I'm anal attentive about that kind of stuff. But I love the tactile feel of these keys. It is very Apple-like. I love this keyboard. It has that same type of feel. It's very close. It bottoms out really hard. Nice, short, but just the right resistance. And these keys are the same way. I think the travel on the Microsoft one, the keys are just a little bit more. Probably very close to a laptop, but again, it's not mushy. It's a good tactile, and it hits bottom nice and hard. So if you're the type of person that likes to really nail the bottom there, it feels just right. Just to give you a comparison, this is the wireless Mac keyboard, and here's the Microsoft. Dimension-wise, they're pretty close. And I'll tell you, I think they stole the designer from the Apple team for this. And I use all machines: Linux, Apple, Microsoft, BOS, or BIOS. I've used them all. DOS. I'm trying to think of all the operating systems I ever used, and I'm really drawing a blank because there's so many more that I've used. Quite a few different versions of Linux, as a matter of fact. But anyway, I digress. This is not an operating system video. This is on this keyboard. So again, 4.5 out of 5. I'm very satisfied. If I run into any issues, I'll sort of throw it in between another video, let you know that, hey, I found an issue with this. If you don't hear anything else, that means I'm happy and content with it. And now when I'm finally done using this machine, instead of it sitting here, getting in my way all the time, I could simply put it aside. So, Thank you very much again for joining me here on the Gear Obsession channel. Again, sort of broadening my horizons, sort of adding some IT and computer stuff based on my video last week. It looks like that you guys love electronics and computers. You know, you're here at the gun channel, but you're watching it on a computer, so most of you sort of have a little bit interest in computers. So if you sort of are starting to get aggravated that you don't want to see it, maybe I'll think about doing a separate channel for that, or maybe set a certain day for it. So you go, oh, I'm not going to go to the Gear Obsession channel on Friday or Thursday because that's the computer stuff that I'm not interested in. So that's it. Please come back often. I appreciate every friend, subscriber, and viewer. I'm sorry, and have a great evening.